Robes08 top 20 seasonal list are just as classic as fried chicken. Top 20 list all day, every day. Let's go! YouTube fragrance community, welcome to my top 20 winter designer list for the year 2018/19. Are you ready for this? I don't know. Let's get into it. If you haven't already, go check out my precursor video that I just posted a couple hours ago prior to this list. What that tells you is what my region is, Canada. What is winter to me? Why I choose what I choose in these lists, my favorite notes for these type of seasons, and the clothing I wear. So it gives you a full grasp of why I pick what I pick. It may not be great in your region. So my winters in Canada may not be the same for you. So take my list as a little grain of salt. But if you're a Canadian like me, kind of looking like a lumberjack, this is going to be a good list for you. So let's get into it. Let's get into my top 20 designers for 2018 for the season of winter. At number 20, new to this list, from the House of Bulgari, and this is from their tea line. Absolutely gorgeous juice. This is Eau Parfumée au Thé Noir. So this is the newest one in my collection from the tea-based line. A 2015 release, great for fall, but I can still wear this during the Canadian winters. The big notes in this particular fragrance: leather, black tea, and tobacco. Again, I'm fairly new to this fragrance, and I really wanted to test it out in the fall and winter for Canada, and it's doing very, very well. I can wear this during the day or night during winter. I can dress it up, and I can also wear it casually. Even though it does not list woods as a heavy note in this particular fragrance, it's there. Eau Parfumée au Thé Noir, developed by the nose that made M7. Feels kind of like M7 in structure, as the blend is right up there with some of the best blended designers out there. Absolutely love the tea line from the House of Bulgari, but this one might be their best one yet, especially for the men out there. This takes the saffron rose oud combo and layers it with some tea, tobacco, and leather. A great blend. It's rich. It's beautifully done, and I just found out that they actually have an intense version of this stuff. So you know what your boy's going to do. I'm going to buy that stuff. Blind buy, let's go. At number 19, it is a sweet fragrance from the House of Guerlain. I'll be honest, this winter list, this one right here, there's not too many sweet fragrances. So this is one of the unique ones in this list. And this is from their Ideal lineup. I actually really like this lineup. I need to get more of these. I'm missing quite a few. And beautiful. Best season for this one, L'Homme Ideal. This is the EDP Eau de Parfum, tonka bean, vanilla, leather-based fragrance, mostly for nighttime wear. I can wear this, dress it up, dress it down. This is a great take on tonka bean. Only Guerlain can make a designer tonka bean smell like this. It utilizes the sweet facets, the cherry facets, and most notably the almond-like facets of the tonka. You'll see many of my sweet tooth scents aren't in this list. This list is much darker than it was previously. But that's, you know, I still need to get a couple sweet type scents in my list. I love the darkness of this one. The blend, the quality portrays the tonka bean, which is far and few between in the designer realm, in a quality type of way. One to definitely check out from the House of Guerlain. Now, number 18 on the list isn't a newbie. It is from the House of Christian Dior. You're going to see Christian Dior, one of my favorite brands in the designer game. This is from their Eau Sauvage lineup. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent. Rated as high as number 5 in this list in years past. Number 18 is Eau Sauvage Parfum. Older release, a 2012 release. Basically, the big thing in this particular fragrance is the myrrh. We got some vetiver and some bergamot. It's got some brightness from the original Eau Sauvage. I can wear this day, night during the winter. I can dress this up or down, doesn't really matter. It takes the original Eau Sauvage and makes it darker. I certainly appreciate the blend in this one as it shines with its Dior quality. De Machi, of course, the nose behind this one. It has that balsamic quality from the myrrh, some woody qualities from the vetiver, and aromatics from the bergamot. Great for an older gentleman with a touch of class. This one right here, should check it out. At number 17, another newbie to the list. You're going to see a lot of these fragrances were in my fall top designer list for 2018. If you checked out that video, you'll see a lot of these new fragrances that I purchased. I'm really trying them out during the fall and winter seasons, and a lot of them are succeeding. They're doing very well. This is from the house of Armani, and this is from a lineup that I haven't really given a chance to, and this is Eau de Nuit Oud. You should definitely check this one out. 2016 release. Rosewood and saffron are the big notes in this particular fragrance. More of a nighttime scent for me, casual use. From a highly ignored line from Armani. This release right here came out of left field for me, and I absolutely love it. It's in its second list this year on my channel and should continue to this pace next year. A warm, spicy, woody concoction that you'd expect from a saffron and oud combo. It has a beautiful rose note that lingers. It has some minimal sweetness that does give it some playfulness, but overall a great blend and one of the best recent designer releases, in my personal opinion. One that you should check out. If you've ignored this Armani line because maybe the bottles look really old school, forget the bottle, go check this one out. Start with this one and run through the line. I'm definitely checking out the rest of the line. At number 16, this is a staple in my list. It has been on my list 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 2016. So it's been on this list almost every single year since I've been on YouTube. This is from Mugler. I don't know if it's ever been this low on this list. It has not. Still a great scent from Mugler, and this is, of course, a pure malt, a 2009 release. Obviously, big notes in here, fruity notes, malt, whiskey. I can wear this one casually. I can also dress it up sometimes. It has some playfulness to it, nighttime. This is the first scent in this list with a huge resume backing it. It has been number one on this list before. Did not make my top 10 last year, which was the first year it didn't make the list since I've had this bottle. Something has to be said for a fragrance that has consistency on my lists, as many scents come and go, and pure malt continues to be one of my favorites for winter. If I had to recommend a flanker to the original Amen, this is the one I would recommend. Fruity, boozy opening with a splash of citrus in the original Amen creeping through. A great scent for anybody out there, especially in the cooler months. Now, number 15 from the house of Guerlain. This one is usually more for springtime, spring nights and fall, start of fall, but I'm really getting a taste of it this winter. New to the list, but not new to my nose. I've had this fragrance for quite a while, and this is from the Habit Rouge lineup. Beautiful, beautiful scent. Number 15, Habit Rouge Beau Cavalier. This is the EDP 2009 release. Big notes in this particular fragrance is patchouli, leather, and vanilla. I like to wear this casually or dressed up. A limited edition EDP in 2009 that keeps the vanilla and leather base, but has a solid citrus note up top and gives a certain flavor with the added oud, and of course that beautiful patchouli that lingers in this fragrance. Simplistic yet complex at the same time. Modern yet classic. A great scent, and the Habit Rouge lineup needs more shine in this YouTube platform, including myself ignoring it. But this one right here, great one. At number 15, welcome to the list, your first time in the list. This guy right here is not a newcomer from the house of Christian Dior. I told you Dior is going to smash this list this year. This is from the Dior Homme lineup. Last year made at number 7 in my top 10. This year moves back, doubles up, I guess, back to number 14, Dior Homme Parfum. Now, Dior Homme Parfum, 2014 release. Big notes in this one: iris, leather, sandalwood. I can dress this up, dress it down, doesn't matter. DHP was not received well initially in our YouTube fragrance community, but it's getting much more traction and love lately. DHP was always and still is in the shadow of DHI for me, for my wearings. They both portray a darker side of the original Dior Homme. As you can see, the scent goes in and out of my list since its launch, and it continues to do that. I think the quality is on par to DHI, the blends there. It's just as good as DHI. The one thing about this one is the smooth leather note that sets it apart from DHI. Beautiful, beautiful release from Dior. And even though you own DHI, you'll see that both of those kind of are worn for the same type of reasons. So is it still too early to tell you that Dior did well in this list? Yeah, they got another one here from the Fahrenheit lineup. This one, no stranger to this list, was as high as number 5 in 2012. This one right here, the darkest Fahrenheit. This is Fahrenheit Absolute. 2009 release. The big notes in this particular fragrance: incense, myrrh, and violet. It utilizes some of the original but darkens it up quite well. The Fahrenheit lineup has been seeing a resurgence in the 2000s after dominating the late 80s and of course early 90s. I love the flankers of the original Fahrenheit brand, as its layers, the layer of Fahrenheit is fairly transparent enough that you could play around with the original formulation to almost anything. This release went all the way dark, and in my opinion of course, is the best flanker of the brand, bar none. Get a bottle if you haven't already. Discontinued, replaced by, of course, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. Number 12 on this list is, I believe, the last real sweet fragrance. I would say that some have some sweet nuances, but the dominating theme in this particular fragrance is sweetness. This one right here, new to the list at number 12, from the house of course, Maison Margiela. And my only fragrance from the brand in my collection. This is a beautiful, beautiful scent, By the Fireplace. Now, By the Fireplace, a 2016 release. Big notes in this fragrance: vanilla, chestnut, and Peru balsam. Obviously, that vanilla gives you that sweetness. That chestnut gives you that uniqueness to this particular fragrance, and the Peru balsam gives it that smoothness to the fragrance. The big thing that puts By the Fireplace on this list is, of course, the chestnut. It makes it unique. One note can do everything for a scent, and in this one it remains true. Not saying the other notes aren't well done or the blend isn't great in this one, but that one singular note can put a fragrance up on a pedestal for a while for your nose. One of the rare sweet scents in this list, but it's a good one. Highly recommended. This one right here is from a brand that did the best on this list, arguably. It has 4 scents that I have to introduce to you in this top 11 right now. So those are pretty good odds here with this brand. And this is one of the brands that I've been saying, watch out for, because they're coming for the crown. And this one right here, new to the list, beautiful leather-based fragrance. This is Ombre Leather from the house of Tom Ford. Oh, a newer release. I usually don't pepper my top 20 list with a lot of newer releases, but this one I really could not ignore. It did really well in my fall top 20 list too. The big notes in this particular fragrance, of course, leather, amber, and jasmine. A newcomer that wasn't really a newcomer, but it took our YouTube community by storm for good reason. If you asked me which Tom Ford you'd recommend for a leather lover, I'd go Tuscan Leather, I'll be honest. But if you're on a budget, and I'm saying that loosely, you could take a look at this one. Great leather met with some fruity sweetness up top. Has that simplistic yet warm Tom Ford edge that I come to expect. Excellent release, and just missed the top 10 in its initial winter list. Let's see if it continues to make the list over the years. I think I wouldn't bet against that. Going on to my top 10, we're going to start top 10 where we ended the previous 10, and this is of course the house of Tom Ford. This one, no stranger to this list, was as high as number 4 on this list in 2014. Oh, beautiful complexity, depth. This is Tom Ford Extreme, a 2007 release from Tom Ford. This is made for winter. Big notes in this particular fragrance: truffle, patchouli, and fig. A nighttime scent. I can dress this one up, I can dress this one down. The house of Tom Ford is no joke in this list, as they have 4 out of the top 11. I just named off 2. I always build my list with what I like, and even if you're released in 2007 like this one, does not mean you're going to be off my list. They don't all have to be 2018 releases. This one, is one, if not the strongest release in the signature line for men from the House of Tom Ford. Complexity, depth, blend, they're all strong points in this particular one. Simply outstanding. Use of darker notes and lighter notes, but there's a lot of complexity, a lot of facets in this one. This could be a private blend release, and I wouldn't really blink. I would purchase it. At number 9, from another house that's dominating this list, Christian Dior. Yes, I'm not done with the Diors. This one, not new to the list. Previous list was number 5 in 2015. That's the only time it showed up on this list. But, oh, what a great set. Released in 2014. This is another Fahrenheit flanker, and this is the one that replaced Absolute. This is Fahrenheit, known now as Le Parfum. I got one of these older bottles, which it used to be called just Fahrenheit Parfum. Best season for this one, I would have to say fall. The big notes in this one, vanilla, violet leaf, and rum. Dior has 3 very solid lineups represented in this list, and they all should be, to be quite honest. I prefer Dior releases against Chanel's. This one replaced Absolute in the market as Absolute got discontinued. Sadly, there was no room for both, but alas, this is the one they went with. This is slow love for me. It went as high as number 5 on this list back in 2015 and was always solid for me, but not list worthy. Comes back strong this year. Great use of the original formula with heavy vanilla, leather, some boozy qualities, but still remains having that transparent quality that some people absolutely love from the Fahrenheit brand, which I do. Go Absolute if you want to go dark. Get Parfum if you want more versatility. At number 9 on my list. Number 8, House of Gucci is a house that kind of had a resurgence. Talking about resurgences, Gucci has done that with their recent releases, which is great to see. I like to see brands like this that actually just whole 180. Like that whole Gucci Guilty series. Oh, what were you guys doing? But now, this one, not new to the list. Oh, so dark. Oh, so gorgeous. Of course, number 8 on my list. This is Gucci Intense Oud, and I absolutely love this one. A 2016 release, was as high as number 2 on this list back in 2016. Best season for this is winter. This is what it's made for. Big notes, oud, incense, and leather. Nighttime scent, more casual wear. Gucci top 10 staple in my winter list since its introduction. You can call it a comeback, as Gucci needed a few great releases like this one. It stepped out of the top 5 this year, but still top 10 worthy. Dark as ever. Gives me a smoky, dark, woody vibe. It has some balsamic quality, as a niche scent would actually have. I can't even think of a designer scent that can throw this kind of scent. So kudos to Gucci. To the niche heads saying designer brands are dead, smell this. At number 7, again from the house of Christian Dior. And this is one of my favorites from the brand. I'm not new to the list. This is one of my staples. Always peaked around number 1 to around number 10 in my list over the years. And oh, beautiful iris. And this one, DHI, Dior Intense. Big notes in this one, iris, vanilla, amber. You can dress this one up. You can dress it down day or night, mostly night. The resume speaks for itself, almost as decorated as pure malt. And one of my staples on my list. DHI is the only scent that can take classiness and smoothness of Dior Homme and dress it up a little more with darker notes to give it a nighttime tuxedo-like feeling. The iris, as per the whole lineup, is what this scent is all about. Absolutely gorgeous. At number 7, DHI, always a staple. Now at number 6, new to this list. Didn't make it last year. A lot of people were surprised it didn't make it last year because I purchased it really in the thick of winter, and I didn't think it was fair to put it on the list. But this year, from the house of Gucci, Gucci Guilty Absolute, which is killing my list over the past few years. This one right here, 2017 release. Big notes in this one, leather, cypress, and vetiver. Night out, casual wear scent. What can I say about this one? Should be a top 3 scent on this channel for winter 2018. But number 6, a great spot for this set to start off its journey on my lists. This is for my true darker set heads that love challenging scents like I do. Remember when I said Gucci Intensude would make a niche head, make their head turn? This will do the same. Gucci could technically make a higher end line and start with those two, kind of discontinue these out of the designer realm, because obviously I don't know how sales are for the Intensude, but I'm assuming probably not the same as these, probably kind of bad, but they can make a higher end line with those two, rename them, going back to forget the marketing. This scent is not for the faint of heart, and I highly suggest the ones that like it stock up. Beautiful, challenging, leather-based scent from the House of Gucci. Here we are, top 5 dead or alive. Last year's top 3 for winter on my list was, number 1 was Amber Blend from Davidoff, a great scent. Number 2 rated was Antaeus by Chanel, and number 3 was Angel Men from Mugler. So those 3 fragrances are kind of, where are they? They're missing from this list. Well, one of them is number 5 here. So it dropped down a little bit. It's from the House of Chanel. So you already know what it is. If you know fragrances, it's Antaeus Pur Dark. Guess what? This was released in the 80s. I don't care. I will put fragrances from the 70s and 80s if I like them in my list and high on my list. This one was number 1 on my list in 2013. It was number 1 in 2014. So it is no stranger to being one of the best for winter. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful scent. The big notes in this particular fragrance: castoreum, rose, and patchouli. I'm starting to get a taste of a little bit of patchouli for my winter-based scents. You see me name it a little bit, so it's starting to go as maybe one of my favorite notes. I don't know, it's kind of sneaking up on me a little bit. I started appreciating this scent in 2013 when I shot it up number 1 on this list out of nowhere, and it has been a top 5 scent in the winter for me since then. This is the only scent from the 80s in this list. It represents that era very, very well, and it does not get old for me at all. The biggest anti-Chanel of the Chanel brand would be this. Chanel always cozy, clean, and starting the trends as really safe fragrances, because that's what it is right now. This one right here has that classic sheep backbone, smells like the 80s. Think Kouros among others, but has some darkness among the aromatic qualities. If you have the same taste as me, try it next time when you're at a Chanel boutique. Check out Antaeus. What a great scent from the House of Chanel. Number 4, no stranger to this list either, so these aren't newbies. This is from Mugler and talking about patchouli. Man, Amen. Amen 1996 release. Yes, now I got a scent from the 90s. Big notes in this fragrance, of course: coffee, patchouli, and vanilla. Was number 3 last year, so it drops down to number 4. One of my staples in winter. Amen never disappoints. Even though during my journey my taste may change from scents to particular notes, Amen continues to be strong in my winter list, going from number 1 to this list as low as number 4 this year. Yeah, I said it, as low as number 4. It hasn't creeped out of my top 5. Complexity, depth, playfulness, warmth, aromatic qualities, they're all there. Well-rounded scent that always is great to wear. When the snow falls, Amen comes out to play. At number 3 on this year's list is not new to the list either. It's my old number 1 from last year, Amber Blend from Davidoff. 2016 release. Big notes in this particular fragrance: amber, puru balsam, and rum. Was number 1 in 2016, 2017, back to back, loses its throne this year. Still solid at number 3. So it is removed from its throne by a couple newbies to this list. So keep it tuned in. They took no prisoners. Amber Blend quickly jumped as one of my favorites from the blend line. Leather Blend will always have a soft spot for me, as it was the first blend fragrance from Davidoff to hit my nose and surprised me, because I was like, Davidoff is like a brand that I totally forgot about. They haven't done anything in years. Once that Leather Blend hit my nose, I was like, this blend line is serious. And then they started releasing other ones: Agar Blend, Amber Blend. Amber Blend has that balsamic thickness to it that I absolutely love. It's warm, it's balsamic, it's spicy, and it's the cinnamon toast crunch of the fragrance game. It's just beautiful. Number 3, Amber Blend. Number 2, newbie to the list. Usually newbies don't do this, but sometimes they do when they impress me. This is a discontinued fragrance, but I don't care if you're discontinued. If I like you, you're coming on the list, and you're coming out with Sahara Noir from the house of Tom Ford, a 2013 release, actually in a women's aisle. Should have been unisex at least. Very masculine as a scent, honestly, but I could see a woman wearing this, and yeah, with the right woman, yeah, I could see that. Big notes in this fragrance. This is highly a balsamic, ambery fragrance with some incense and some labdanum. Very dark, smoky, great scent. Nighttime, casual, or dressed up. New to the list and taking the number 2 spot really quickly on my list. From my first sniff of this scent, I knew this one was going to be messing around in my top 20 list for a couple of years at least. It gives me that warmth and that complexity and that depth that I expect from darker Tom Ford scents. This is marketed as a woman's scent, by the way, but I would love to meet the woman that actually wears this. But definitely masculine qualities here. Dusty, smoky, woody, and dry, just like a winter scent should be. Beautiful. And to note, one of the stronger scents in this list. And I mean, beast mode is right here in my hand. Now on to my new number 1 from the house of Tom Ford. And, you know, there's some things that I absolutely love in particular fragrances, especially in winter, is depth, warmth, complexity, and uniqueness. And this is hitting a little bit of that all over the place. 2017 release from Tom Ford, so it's a newish release. New to my nose, I just bought it last year in 2018. The best season for it is winter. Oh, beautiful scent. And this is, of course, Tom Ford Noir Anthracite. This scent smells like the bottle color. Big notes in this fragrance. Oh, pepper, wood, sandalwood. First, let's congratulate the house of Tom Ford for truly smashing this list. It shows that this house is truly evolved as one of the premier fragrance brands, in my opinion, of course, especially on my list and for my taste. With 4 scents on the list, 3 of them being in the top 10, shows the strength of the brand. Now on to this scent. To my Gucci Guilty Absolute heads, my Gucci Intense Oud, Sahara Noir heads. This is right up our alley, right? There's a lot of people that dislike those fragrances because they're strong, they're different, and they're daring. You know, it steers away from the Sauvages, the Bleus, and all these top sellers out here. Forget sales, forget popularity in this community. This is what our noses love. Something dark, warm, spicy, leathery, citrusy, earthy, slightly metallic. It reminds me of coal or something around the color gray, hence the bottle color. Thinking gray, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Narciso Rodriguez for him, the Eau de Toilette. Very much both gray in color, both bottles actually. Great scent, and from what I see in the community, probably a good idea to get a bottle soon because maybe this one is going to get discontinued. Tom Ford, the brand of Tom Ford is not scared to discontinue fragrances. The great ones always leave us too early, so get your hands on this one, get a backup bottle if that's what you do. But for me, the only regret I got right here is I got the 1.7 ounce because I wanted to save myself 50 bucks. Should have pulled the trigger. That's it. So again, thank you so much for watching my top 20 winter list. I certainly appreciate of course, your support. And hey, comment below if you do enjoy some of these scents or you dislike them. Anything I could add on the list. There's obviously I could have made this a top 50 if I wanted to. What a great bunch of scents that I've been delving into these past few months. So I really enjoyed wearing a lot of these, especially the new ones like this one right here. So again, thank you so much for the support, and I hope you enjoyed the top 20. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, YouTube.